Welcome, welcome Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and Soulmate. I am Key, and this is our doorway. This is for Sun, Moon, and Rising. As your key, we hold the 12 months, the 12 hours of the day within us. It's all about what we want to activate or what is activating, and when we're aware. If you would like to get a personal guide or have me as a personal key of guidance or to train with, in the description box below is how to connect with me on that level. So that way we could go to the Akashic Records relic to know personally your relic, your reading, and how that is relevant in the now, past, or present, even future. So, let's begin. Compass. We're no longer the Trinity anymore. We're now the compass. We're now the guide. You're now the guide. And I'm just the key to walk with you on that guide. And so much more. So, let's get started. God, Gaia, God, Goddess, Mother, Father. What past gift for the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Soulmate, would like to be read in the relations to their present gift and even their future. What will take place emotionally, energetically for water signs, Soulmate, from January 16th through January 31st, 2019. What will take place emotionally, energetically, Soulmate. Second week. Emotionally, energetically. Emotionally, energetically. Okay. Emotionally, energetically. All right, let's see. Okay. So, Cancer, your past, you have walked relic as a Native American. You have been that native to know the lands. You helped others navigate the land. And navigation is very important. That showed humanity how to feel grounded when at times feeling lost. You have understood, Cancer, on how to use natural resources as a navigation. That in your present gift to yourself, you are becoming that navigator once more in your land. People are looking to you to help navigate their world. That is something you're using not only just for your present, but for your future as well. Scorpio. Makes sense. Scorpio, being the seeker of source, I should say it this way. Knowing that you have always been connected to source outside of you. Or now you're trying to see how that source within you is that same reflection. So, how you have learned the strength of source inside of you and outside of you, you had to experience as a phobia. Phobias can be very painful because it really connects to the pleasure that we have found once in that pain. Your phobias have been painful, yes, Scorpio, but that has connected you closer to source every time. That has made your strength in the source within you, the source within you and around you. It does not matter if you're a Christian. It does not matter if you're Muslim, Buddha, Hindu faith, spiritual teachings, Santeria, Hoodoo, Voodoo, priesthood, priestess. It is a phobia. Those are the titles I have named. All have stemmed from a phobia once. You have walked in phobia. To pray, that would have meant punishment at one point of your life. To praise, that would have been not only punishment, but being pushed aside in society. The phobias you have walked through were the same phobias that made you prosperous, prophetic. And that's something maybe you are fearing now. Now you're seeing that fear is going to be your foundation. And now you're using that phobia, those phobias, because Scorpio, to sting, that meant that you had to have been stung before. And how you've been stung was through phobias. Those phobias have given you the opportunity in your present life to use them as pleasure. Yes, they're painful. You have walked in them as painful. But now you could walk in them in the now, in the present, as pleasure, as praise, prophetic, prophesized, prophet. You know what that means. Scorpios. You know what that means. Pisces. You're present from your past. Let's talk about your past. As your past, you walked as a tree. A physical tree. Pisces sign is the two fish. I see two trees here. Feminine, masculine, or is this the feminine? And this is the masculine. As a tree, you have learned and seen that to be a pleasure, you understood that what made this tree stand tall was its own tradition, knowing that it is a relic, just like you. You understand. You had to walk in, what does it take to have source around you? What does it feel like to have the photosynthesis of your world in you? You know what it means to be nourished. You know how it looks to not be nourished. You know how it feels to get sunlight, to get a start in life. And you know how it feels to be stagnant, to feel secluded. You were not just this one tree. You were also this tree as well. A tree is asexual, meaning it has the masculine and feminine and even soul in it. So it can produce its own seeds. However, not all trees have that ability, and that's something you had to see for yourself. As your present gift, Pisces, you're seeing how what makes you a tradition, what makes you a relic, emotionally, energetically, is what you're going to start. What makes you a treasure? What makes you relatable, emotionally, energetically, to yourself will be that synchronicity or synapses to someone else. Solution. What you will find as that synapses will help the next tree, the next spirit, the next person. What is your traditions? What do you hold as a treasure? You knew sun was a treasure. You knew having your body positioned towards the sun. When they say trees can't move, they can. A tree doesn't just stand straight. Based on how the sun hits it determines how that tree walks or aligns itself to it. It's like as if it trained itself to line itself to the body of the light to get the nutrients it needs, to get the source. Like Scorpio had to see. Why did I get that flash of Christ in the tree? Scorpio, if you're concerned about sacrifice, looking at sacrifice, we might have to see sacrifice in a different way. If you're worrying about being a martyr, because people that have experienced phobias meant that they have been martyred, exiled, and punished for the very things that they were truly connected to. Know in this life, Scorpio, Pisces, you will start to stand not only tall, but you will see how you as a person, as a pioneer, you are healing source inside of you and outside of you. When you're healing the source within you, or that practice of what you think source is, or physically what you think source is, you're seeing how to pull those paths or parameters down and see how to bring in the balance using your intuition, using what anchors you. Anchor, A-N-C-H-O-R, anchors you. Or what can be an activation to start. Whatever you have been biased on is the very thing that you can build on. Your bias is what caused the phobia. Your bias from others caused you to have the phobia. Does not mean that you were the bias to begin with. Pisces, your energy and emotions connect to what you consider as a treasure. What do you consider as a tradition? Your tradition is a treasure to you. Why? Because you know you are a relic. R-E-L-I-C. The 12 zodiac signs, when we read in the Akashic Records, we're reading the relics, the relic of you. You guys, including myself, walking with you. So, soulmate. In your past life, you have experienced being a baby. You experienced being that bond for both parents. You also experienced being a baby with parents that may had difficulty bonding or learning how to build together as parents to prepare you in the world. You're seeing how you, in your present life, soulmate, are trying to activate what makes you anchored, what makes you become acknowledged from where you have come from and what you will do differently. If you haven't experienced the bond between both parents, you're figuring out, soulmate, how to be that parent or how to have that parent energy in preparation. So even if you have nieces, nephews, cousins, family, friends, you're using that practice to bond, to make that type of bond. It's like, why marry when you could practice first how to be a better partner? Or not even a better partner. How does to be a partner? I don't know about the better part. A partner is better. It's better, beautiful, and is also bad too. We have the day and the night. So sometimes the sun is beautiful and sometimes it can feel bad. Sometimes the moon feels benevolent, and sometimes it feels like it's blaming us. So both sides of the coins have good and bad. Or maybe it's our interpretation of how we are looking at it. That's what you're seeing. As your key in my mind's eye, that was an example to give you. How to make a bond when it comes to babies, when it comes to the youth, when it comes to even innocence within you, soulmate. How to bond with your innocence. How to bond with the child in you. Even if you didn't get that exposure in your past life or even in your present, you're seeing how just because you haven't experienced it does not mean that you don't have the yes within you, that why question to see the worth in. Whatever you felt the need of answering or asking why, that is the very thing that you will find your answers to. Why? When you ask why, it's a particular thing, a person, subject that you're asking why to, because it's something that you are around or acknowledge in your world. How would you compass, guides. Be navigating this present gift to yourself from your past into your future as well for the next 2 weeks. First week, let's see. Wow. Okay. Chariot, okay. Oh, synchronicity. Synchronicity, yes, yes. Okay. So, Cancer, you're in the house of Libra. You're showing your logic, your logical side in your environment. You're showing that you are very level-headed in your environment. Why? Because each seed that you have planted has its own structure, has its own stabilization, that even when you go back, you see that you have planted, it is ripe, and now you can continue to nurture it. Because those are things that are going to be the leads in your environment. So, seeds that you have planted requires you to have a temporary pause in action. Because, like any seed, once you see it sprout, like Pisces had to experience, once it sprouts, now you would have to see what is that fuel, that engine that each seed would need to continue to grow. It would need that water. Would that water need to have nutrients in it for the food? Trees get not just water, but they also get food in their water. Sometimes it looks green, sometimes it looks blue. It depends on the actual powder of nutrients that you mix into the water to grow the plants even more fertile. That's what you're seeing. How to go back, look at every seed that you have planted and become more level-headed on how to nurture it in your environment. Scorpio, you're stepping in emotionally, energetically as the knight of your foundation. You're showing what gives you that drive, determination, and the desire to move forward. You're seeing now that your phobias have, yes, been a pain in the, yet in the donkey butt. The pain in the donkey, donkey's tail, whatever the case may be. But it also have given you the answers too. Whenever we have a pain in something, that means we were prepared. We were preparing something. And as we were preparing, whatever we prepared may not have played out the way we prepared it. And when that happens, it can become a pain. It can make us feel like, why? You know, like that, why? Like the soulmate. And now you're seeing how to use the phobias in a more productive manner. In a plateau, as a plateau. So, being a knight is all about, you're going to be showing your dedication to your desire, your loyalty to your determination, and your protective nature to what gives you that drive. And for that, you're showing your passionate side, your adventurous nature. Your adventurous nature gives an activeness, an activation. And that activation is leading you to what you are self-assured in. Self-assured in. So, you're being restless, relic, in your approach. So, a sudden event that needs immediate attention this week, yes. That will require you to see time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. If you've been stopping and starting, it's because when we stop, we know we're getting closer to something successful, or we're getting closer to something that not just what we're starting, but that start leads to something very big. And when it's something very big that we don't really know, but we can feel, Scorpio, that can make even a Scorpio feel the sting, their own sting. It's like you were purposely stinging yourself to understand your own venom. Why? Because as a knight, when we become the pharaoh, because you're about to become a pharaoh, Scorpio. You become a pharaoh and you become that go-getter in how you're making that a foundation. People might come off and see it as a problem, or you might feel becoming a pharaoh in your own way, emotion, energetically, would that be a problem? No, because that has been your pillar of help, not just for yourself, but helping others with their phobias. This right here is a phobia. Tarot reading. I'm a Taurus, sun and moon, ascendant in Scorpio. This is a taboo for me. Yet this is a taboo that has been a teaching in my life and in my family. And not just in my family, in other people's families. That to the point where I had to relearn the very things that I think is taboo and that I've heard people say about me is taboo. And use that as a pillar. That's what you're doing in the first week. So think things through carefully on how you want to prepare. Even if it's going to be painful at times. We're going to see how we can solve that. Okay? Pisces, you're in the house like Cancer. You're in the house of Libra. The 7th house of showing your logical side, your level-headed side. Because these two traits of who you are leads to legislation. Leads to things being legal in the world. This is why you are the house of Libra, the house of justice, the house of law. Before it becomes law, you're finding out what makes Pisces, your treasure or your tradition, as law. What is your treat? What is a treasure to you as you? Law. Meaning, if you don't even treat yourself, the law within you would say, no, that's trouble. We need to treat you, not trouble you. We need to treasure you, not tyrant you or see you as a tyrant. We need to see you as a treasure, because you are a treasure. You're Pisces. You show us the treasures of the world through you. And for that, why should we treat you as a tyrant? That's what you're seeing, how that logical side of you. As your key, that's what came out of me to show you, that you have shown me in speaking in the reading. You are becoming that chariot. You are becoming that go-getter. You are looking at your phobias like Scorpio and seeing how to make that a foundation. You are aligning the things that make a phobia. Because being a tree, they say it's just a tree. Is it? A tree makes oxygen. A tree in this first letter is taboo. How can the tree grow on its own? That's taboo. Until we were taught by reading, by seeing the relations to what we were reading based on that topic, like, oh, well, yes, a tree can grow on its own. Yet, now we're seeing how a particular tree or a particular seed, based on how it grows, can determine if it sprouts its egg and semen to grow itself, or does it need another tree to germinate with. And by doing that, how to not give less to it, but to give an equal amount so that too can grow, and then y'all could keep growing as tall. Because yes, I see the sun here for this one tree, but it also has the sun for this tree too. And we don't want both. We don't want this one side of ourselves getting the glory and the other side of ourselves not. It's like a feminine getting dismissed and the masculine being praised, or the feminine being praised and the masculine being punished. We don't want that. Now we want both to be treated equally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. And while you're doing that, Pisces, you're seeing that an important achievement is taking place from that. You're seeing that your self-discipline, your version of self-discipline and willpower will be recognized in the public eye, will be recognized publicly. Pioneer. Soulmate, you're stepping into King of Fire. Like Pisces, you're seeing, wow, like Pisces, you're going within your phobia to see how your phobias can be the motivation to push forward. Because the phobia is around babies. Either having a baby, would you be a good parent? Do you feel you'll be a good parent? Or you're having a baby. Is your experience with your parents, do you feel it is helping you to be or use those skills in teaching your child? You're going within those phobias and seeing, okay, they are a way to make a better perimeter of this. And you're seeing how stepping into a king of your foundation will give you that right motivation. Like a king, you know you have a queen. Like a king, you know you have people that rely on you. So you want to be that mother, that father in your foundation. Because you know, as going in the child within you, that needs nurturance. Like Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer have experience with you. You're becoming more ambitious in your idealistic or your ideals. Your ideals is very intuitive. It holds the thing, the fire in you to ignite your foundation. How you're showing your ambition is by being that king. So you're staying focused, Trinity. You're staying focused in the masculine side of yourself. You're staying focused on how you become that foundation. You're staying focused on how you formulate that foundation. You're staying focused on how you become that forum of your foundation. So you're communicating with a vision now. And people and yourself are seeing you as a leader. So advice from someone creative will be taking place. Whether it be from Aries, the activator, Leo, the leader, or Sagittarius, the one that not only goes after what they're settling towards, but they're saddling to make a society, to make a success. That's what you're about to do. That by the second week, Cancer, you're renewing your values and your standards, and you're connecting to the source within you and around you, like Soulmate had to walk in. If you're connecting with a soulmate, or if Scorpio is connecting to you, or you're connecting to a Scorpio, Cancer, you're seeing how renewing, it's like a revival. Renew, to renew something. To redo something is to make it anew. What do you want to redo in your environment? It's looking at your seeds that you have planted and seeing how you want to, how you're seeing each seed now as a value. And as each valuable, it holds a standard. Now you're seeing what that is in in that relation. So, Cancer. Second week, you're reviewing and evaluating a favorable assessment of the facts of your environment, yes, to move in a new direction. You see, just like Soulmate, Pisces, Scorpio, you're going to see the child within you, because this is not just for you. This is for your partner. This is for your family that you want to create in your environment. The seeds you are planting is not just for you. It is for the person you want to marry, the person you want to partner with, the person you want to build with. And both of you are going to renew and rebuild together. Scorpio, how you'll become that knight of fire. As you're becoming that knight of fire, you have stepped into the house of Leo. You're becoming that leader, but you have to make those changes. You're seeing that you have to make changes in your atmosphere in the second week. When you're making the changes in your atmosphere, people, places, and things might think of it as unwise. You already walked in that before. Learn what you can from the situation. Review everyone's motives. When you get a chance, Scorpio, look at or compass, guides. Look at the earth signs reading, their relic reading. Scorpio, when you're making the changes in your atmosphere, it may feel unwise, like it's an unwise choice to make those changes. Yet you're learning that in order to lead, become that king, because you're already stepping as the go-getter. You're not going for no reason. You're not getting up and going for nothing. It's like walking with no direction. Yeah, you could walk, but even the walking gives you a destination. And you're reviewing that, and you're reviewing everyone's motives, including yourself, on how you want to move in your environment, or how you want to move in your atmosphere. A for atmosphere. How you want to move in your atmosphere. Because how you want to move in your atmosphere is the way you're going to make those changes. Pisces. As you're becoming the chariot, as you're showing your logical, level-headed side, you are stepping in the house of Virgo. Yes, you're influenced by Scorpio. And from that, by using your source, by using your understanding of source within you and around you, you will be getting back what you have put out into your foundation. Everything that you put into your foundation is going to be reciprocated back to you. But that, in the second week, Pisces, you will experience emotionally, energetically, victory, good news on its way. Public recognition, and awards. Wow. Soulmate. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll explain why I'm doing the relics readings now. Because Soulmate, I would have to do the universal reading tonight.